Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at Voyager class Autobot Grapple from Transformers Earthrise War for Cybertron Trilogy. Just found this at my local Target today. Very cool artwork here on the side. I like that quite a bit. He has kind of a grapple hand as well as the nozzle hand, but he does have the ability to have two regular hands as well. You can probably maybe see the one in there so far. But he looks good. The last time we had a grapple was a Solar Storm grapple from the Gold Box line way back in the day. And he had that huge torso, both him and Inferno both, and it was okay. But this is a very cartoon accurate, original toy accurate grapple, and I'm very excited about that. So standard picture over here on this side for Earthrise, not really anything going on the top or bottom. Taking a look on the back, robot mode, vehicle mode. It shows the shield/ramp guy. I've not been able to find him. I think at this point, him and Starscream are the only two that I have not seen in stores yet. Everything else I've seen, but yeah, that'll do it for the packaging here. I love the brighter color. This kind of bluish green for Earthrise I think is really fun, and I love this packaging even more. I liked Siege, but I think this packaging is even more fun. But let's go ahead and get him out of the box, and we'll take a closer look. So here is Grapple out of the packaging. And I gotta say, I like him a lot. He's very orange, and I love that. I guess it's more of a yellowish orange. I don't know quite what color he is. But I think he's awesome. I love the head sculpt. I think they nailed it. Now, if I remember correctly, in the original G1 cartoon, he had some kind of I thought he had some kind of weird things on the side of his head, kind of like Inferno did. And maybe I made that up. Maybe he didn't. Maybe just Inferno did. But either way, I don't miss him. I think it looks fine. You have that little bit of the caution tape striping on the sides and on the crane, which I think is cool. Works very well. I kind of want to apologize because he's kind of a weird yellowish color that my lighting is being a little weird with it. But overall, he looks great. Love the Autobot symbol there on the front. Like I said, love that head sculpt. Can side to side, no problem. A little bit of front, up and back, but not really. It's mostly side to side. Shoulder, you have the out to the side. You have the spin. Bicep swivel, 90 degrees in the elbow. The wrists rotate into the forearm, so they do not move, like this. So stationary wrists, but not a huge deal. Waist swivel, pretty typical hip, just out to the side, front to back. Thigh swivel, 90 degrees there, and then you get that ankle tilt. The feet can be kind of weird because of the transformation, but you can still get the ankle tilt there. So he looks good. I like it. Very, very colorful. As far as accessories go, he does have a very cool little gun, which you can put in his hand, no problem. Of course, he's got the ports all over the side. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side. He should have some on the bottom of his feet. Yep, there you go. So no problems there if you want to use weaponizers, battle masters, anything like that. Should be no problem. He does have this little nozzle here. You can see it plugs into the side of the crane. Almost easy to miss, but you can see there's just a big tab right there. And this, what you're going to do is rotate the fist in. And then you can see he's got a port. Now, technically, you could use that. It's the same port as anywhere else. So if you wanted to plug a Battle Master or something in there, you certainly could. But I'm going to go ahead and put the nozzle in. Because in G1, that's what he had. The nozzle hand. He had one regular hand, one nozzle hand. But if you wanted to get crazy, you could peg the gun in over here on his side or something like that. Or peg it into his shoulder. Or you could even peg it in up here, actually. Give him a shoulder gun. That's actually kind of cool. And then rotate this hand in. And he also comes with a kind of grabber claw type thing. So you could give that on the other hand. You can do any combination you want of these three accessories in the hands. Whatever you want to do. You can see he does kind of have a clip though here on the inside of the grabber claw. I'm not 100% sure what that's for. Let's see. Can he grab the gun with that? No, not really. I don't really know what that's for. I'm sure it's for something, and I just am not figuring out what it is. The other thing is this hand, it's getting a little bit looser over time, but this one's really tight to move in and out. But yeah, overall, I love the look of Grapple. I think he looks great. Absolutely love him. I think the color scheme is great. The paint detailing is all really good. Articulation's great. Even the crane, it hangs off the back. It's not that big a deal. Overall, he looks fantastic. So real quick before we get into the transformation, got to do a side-by-side with Hoist. These two are like always together on the show. And the funny thing is, he's a Voyager, he's a Deluxe. They really don't look out of scale with each other. They look pretty great. If I remember correctly on the show, Grapple was slightly bigger than Hoist was. They scale pretty great together, I gotta be honest. I mean, back to back, what are we looking at here? Not even like a full head above, maybe half a head above. So, I think that's awesome. These guys look great together. Super excited. Love it. Now, transformation. Gonna go ahead, take this off. Gonna peg it, but you can leave it off to the side if you want. I'm just gonna peg it back in here where it goes. Stays pretty securely. Gonna go ahead, fold that other fist in. There you go. The transformation is actually pretty simple, I gotta be honest. You're gonna kind of lift the head back, and then this whole thing is gonna completely accordion out, like so. You can go ahead and rotate the head like that, 180 degrees. You can lift up this section and it will snap into place. And then you can lift this up like that. So that's how that's going to go. You're going to take the feet, as I showed you earlier, they kind of come all the way out, and then you're going to push them all the way like that to flatten them out very simply. Then you're going to kind of hold these back like this. Now how this is going to work is there are very tiny tabs right here. Let me get a little bit closer. Whoop. Right there and there. And they will tab in on the side right here and here. And then these pegs right here on the side will peg into the bottom of his feet. Now I want to warn you because, and I apologize that my camera's being weird. Right here, these tabs, you can see that they are like, they're connected, but because this is all hollow because of the head, they're not amazingly attached, and they fit so snugly into the holes on the feet that I would not be surprised if you were like holding the feet and trying to wiggle these out, these would snap. So I would definitely be careful with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down, and I'm going to peg this in. You can hear that go in. And then I'm going to just like maybe halfway push these in. Something like this, right? And then when I'm removing them, I would definitely, instead of like holding here and wiggling this, I would definitely hold this and wiggle the foot. Just to make sure, because I really feel like they could be a little bit more snug on there. But this definitely clips in, and it's not a problem. So he still is fine. Next thing you're going to do, put these straight down like this. These will rotate on this hinge here, like that. And then you'll see, oh, I have to actually rotate these, so rotate it like this, 90 degrees. And you'll see that there's a tiny tab and a tiny little spot there. It's for them to tab together. And then you can see here, there are two little black pegs, and they're going to peg into the arms down here. So just make sure that this is out of the way. This whole thing will rotate here. This will peg in there. And then there you have it. You can extend the crane out. And there is the crane form. Alright, so here is the crane. I think it looks pretty good. Rolls very nice. I know it looks a little weird with not having that pegged in all the way, but I really think in the long run that's going to be better. If they just made those pegs a little bit thinner just so that they weren't so snug and tight, like if they just went in and out of there a little bit. Because the piece here in the middle is what really keeps it together. That's just kind of like a late anchor. So, I don't know. These almost look like they pull out for stabilization, but they don't. The one on mine's a little cockeyed. I've tried to push it in. It doesn't really work, but overall, I think it looks good. Very simple. I'm sure we'll see this again as Inferno, and I think it works. I think it's pretty cool. I like the pegs on the side. I wish there was like maybe one more. Like this one I think is too small. Maybe like one on the side of the crane or something, I don't know. But you also have one up here, so if you wanted to peg something into that. The other thing you can do, which I think is really fun, you can peg the claw in there and then rotate this up. So he's got like a grabber claw, you know, like a UFO catcher. You can get all the really good plush. No quarters required. It's perfect. But I think that's really fun. I like that. And then you can also store stuff in the side over here. So if you wanted to peg the gun in over here, you could certainly do that. Looks pretty cool. They tell you to go ahead and peg this in on the other side if you're not using it, but I think that looks really weird to just have a claw sticking out the side. Like the gun, I think it works. It looks streamlined, it's fine, but just having that claw just jet out the side over here looks weird to me. And this can spin around, so you have movement there. It can retract in and out, up and down. So very cool. I think they really knocked it out of the park. It's a simple transformation, but it works. It's very indicative of the original toy. I would honestly say I think it transforms exactly the same as the original toy, just like a little bit tighter and, you know, better articulation. I think Grapple's fantastic. I really like him a lot. The only thing, like I said, that I would be cautious of is just those two pegs right here on the side of his head that go into the feet when in the transformation. They seem a little, I don't want to say frail. Like, I don't think they're going to snap off like the first time you transform or anything like that. I just think they have potential that if too much stress is put on them, they could break. So I would just be careful. If you just kind of like hold on to them and wiggle the feet off, I think you're going to be fine. Transforming him back and forth, I don't think should be a problem. But that's the only thing that I would be wary of. Otherwise, he's fantastic. Color scheme's great, design's great, head sculpt, articulation, the accessories, the way you can switch out the hands with different attachments and everything like that. All that's wonderful. He scales wonderfully with Hoist. Even though one's a Voyager and one's a Deluxe, they look like they're meant to team up. It's wonderful. Yeah, like I said, I'm sure we'll see him again as Inferno. I'm not worried about it. I also wouldn't be surprised if we got a, now I'm blanking on his name, the Target Master version of Inferno, the white engine with the Target Master. I would not be surprised if that's like a Pulse exclusive or something like that, just to get another use out of the mold. It's a great mold, though. Honestly, like I said, very indicative of the original toy in both robot mode and vehicle mode. Even transformation is very in keeping with the original toy. It's just kind of updated with better articulation and some neat accessories, and you don't have to plug the fists in and then find somewhere to put them in the vehicle mode, so that's always appreciated. That was always, with the original toy, they had a lot of fists. Really the whole G1 line had a lot of like fists and weapons and things to keep track of, and it was difficult, but everything very self-sufficient, self-contained, excellent. So yeah, bring it on. Bring on Inferno. Bring in any other repaints you want to do. Great mold. Definitely enjoy it. That's going to do it for this one. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thank you so much for watching.